What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Gmias World. Right now we're going to be talking about the fact that Jim Kelly was just released and all of a sudden there's some really wild things going on. Nobody really understands what goes on with this concept about the nerf. And I get a lot of those questions like, Gmias, what do you mean they've been nerfed? What's going on with that? Is there something that EA is doing to make the game play different? It's very obvious at this point when you get a card that you've been using for a little bit and all of a sudden he just starts sailing every pass. So what we're going to do right now, we're going to take a look at some of the things that are going on and we're going to figure it out together and we'll go from there. So here we go right now. These are Josh Allen's numbers, right? This is what he's looking like. 84 speed, 92 throw power, you know, we got the 90 deep accuracy, all that good stuff. And we've been using him for a while simply because he has gunslinger and he's a pretty decent quarterback. If you think about it, like, he's pretty decent. You know, you can't really find a better release of the football right now. We can argue about Dan Marino with the pass lead elite and all that stuff, but Josh Allen, you know, hands down is a really good quarterback. So that's something that people need to really understand. Now, when we look at the fact that Jim Kelly came out, I'm starting to understand what we've been dealing with over the last couple of years and how EA is just, they are blatantly not even hiding it, bro. Like, the dude has just been trash. Now, as far as his underthrows and not having the arm strength to be able to do stuff, that's one thing, but there are a lot of other things that's going on with it. So what I'm going to do is we're going to go over to the auctions and the trades and we're going to take a look at the way that everything is designed. Because Jim Kelly is also a Bills quarterback, it just seems like EA is like, look, you're going to have to pick one. One of them is going to be garbage. The other one is going to be, you know, pretty good. For a limited time, though. Also, remember, the power-up is absolutely free. Just play the challenges for it. Please do not be one of those guys that are out there buying power-ups. It doesn't make any sense. Now, if you take a look at the limited right here, right, you can clearly see what's going on. He was at like 1 million and change, all that stuff. He's going to level out at about 600 and change. You can try him out. Some people have complained about his arm release, you know, his throwing motion, his release and all that stuff. I'm going to tell you this right now. I can bet you this. He's going to play a lot better than Josh Allen just for now. But here goes the catch. You can't really raid sell Josh Allen. If you raid sell Josh Allen, what's going to happen is, because he's an active player, he's going to get an upgrade that's going to be eventually better than Jim Kelly. Probably not for the next month, though, because they have to make the limiteds mean something for a little bit. So if you were going to jump on this and just do it right now, it probably would not benefit you. But for the time being, he will be a much better quarterback option because he's a strong arm and he's very similar to what Josh Allen is right now, just a lot slower. You know, the 81 speed, it ain't doing nothing for anybody. The 84 speed, believe it or not, on Josh Allen, it makes him run like a banshee. Like, he's really fast with that. Also, Josh Allen is taller, so he's not going to really get the ball batted down a lot. A lot of those things won't happen. And remember, this is the limited. So this is the fully maxed out card. It doesn't seem to be as good as a lot of the other cards that are readily available, but it actually is one of the better cards that are useful right now in the game. So if you were going to try this out, I would just tell you this. Raid selling Josh Allen at this time would not be smart. Because you know what could happen? He could also have a really big monster game in one of these upcoming Sundays, and they might give him like a +1 and up that throw power. Because a lot of what they've been trying to do is make the attributes be visibly, apparently, like, you can see the difference on the field. So a lot of what we've been going through, it is obvious that now when you try to throw that same deep ball, it just doesn't get there the same way. Because guess what? Jim Kelly got, you know, he has another +2 with throw power. And that's ultimately what the gamers mean by nerf. They just adjust as the other cards come out. And we've seen the sliders go up and down. Like, if you play one weekend league game and you just dominate and it's really crazy and you're getting picks and you're getting fumbles, your next game, you might win it, but it will be tuned down. It's sort of like they want to create a balance, but they don't know what the actual balance is. So a lot of fluke will happen, a lot of crazy stuff will go on, and you won't be able to figure out what's happening until you get a huge L in your file. So I wouldn't really go that crazy about this card. I would just deal with Josh Allen for now and kind of hold off and wait up until they actually release another quarterback. You know, the real way that we want it, because for me right now, I don't really care too much for Hot Route Master, because once you give like an outside receiver a slot apprentice, a slot receiver, slot apprentice, or you give your tight end apprentice, you pretty much can make most of the useful routes in the game. And I think with the way that they've been doing it with the balance, because only Tom Brady and Dan Marino can get Hot Route Master right now. I think the balance is there, so we really can't go too crazy about it, in regards to, oh, this is OP so early, because although he does have Hot Route Master, he does not get Gunslinger. And that's the way that it is also with these guys. They got to reach I believe they got to be 99 overall to get Hot Route Master. So they've balanced that aspect. The other legend that's out right now, Big Willie McGinnis, that guy right there, he might be useful because he's a right end. And the reason that he's useful, a lot of you guys know, ding, 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 because you can put him at D tackle. And because you can put him at D tackle, it makes him excessively useful because he's fast enough to be able to do all that stuff. So let's go take a look at that real quick, so that way you guys know, because these are both the legends that have been released. And ultimately, I just wanted to focus a little bit more on, obviously, Jim Kelly, because it's more of an interesting situation with him because of the fact that he's new and everything like that, and EA is going to nerf probably the card that you currently have. So now, is it worth it to spend $700K on a right end that is going to go, he's 91 speed? So pretty much this is your other option. For those of you guys that are saying that there's never, EA is not giving us a lot of options at these players, like Gmia, what's up? This is another option. You can actually play him on the outside because he's fast enough and he weighs enough to be like a real force. And he's 10 pounds heavier than Jalen Phillips, right? So he's actually good enough to play on the outside at 91 speed. But he doesn't have all three categories. His power move is just not there. So you would have to give him something like double or nothing, and it'll have to work for you. Remember, double or nothing on next gen is really, really good. The current gen, you can still use what is that? You can still use the other one. Whatever it is, the stupid pass rushing ability that doesn't make any sense. Edge threat, you can still run that. But do you want to spend $700K on that player when you still have Lawrence Taylor? Taylor is still there, so you don't have to go too crazy about that. The only thing that's good, also Montez Sweat is an end that you could put inside also if you wanted those crazy numbers. So there is a lot of, there's a lot of ways that you can go about changing up your team without spending hellacious money, but it's up to you how you want to do it. LT is very, very cheap right now, but he's still a very, very good card. So believe it, believe it. If you want to, you can believe the hype, whatever. This card, we actually have him, is really, really good paired with Jalen Phillips. He also has all three categories, but he's light. So some of you guys look at that like, yo, he's so light, Gmias gonna get thrown all over the place. He doesn't. It doesn't happen to him like that because they haven't gotten it to the point where it's that much more of an emphasis of having the heavier pass rushers. LT plays like LT when you give him the right ability. But that's it. Other than that, most of the cards are trash anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But there are options, and the left ends and the right ends, because you can put them at D tackle, they become a little bit more valuable. That's the only reason that Willie McGinnis may mean something to your team as opposed to somebody else. Because I run a lot of 3-4 odd and 4-3 even, he would work for me on the inside because it would make more sense for me to have a faster player, so when he sheds, he's coming right in for the quarterback. So that's everything that's there for you guys right now with the legends. I will continue to update you guys as things go forward. You should have been able to get your team captain token. Shout out to all of you guys that follow me on social media at GmiasWorld, and thank you to @EA Help for helping out with that situation. Any other things you may have questions with, please feel free to leave it in the comment section. You guys go ahead and have a blessed day. Until next time, one love, y'all.